this is Sam Cook with Gametionary here to talk about Kingdom Wars 2 by Reverie World Studios. We're going to be going over some pros and cons to let you know what we thought of the game and whether or not this is the game for you. So Ryan, give me those cons.
The first thing you're going to notice about Kingdom Wars 2 battles will be the graphics. Now I know that graphics aren't necessarily the deciding factor for most people when it comes to their choice of RTS, but the lack of detail and poor animation here looks ancient. It came as a shock to learn that this game came out in 2015, a full 4 years after Stronghold 3, which, despite its lack of content, looked significantly better. Kingdom Wars 2 Battles doesn't quite conform to the control schemes RTS players will be familiar with. Camera movement and unit selection could have been handled much better, and I spent a long time wrestling with the controls. It's a minor flaw, but it gets between the player and the game. It seems like the UI in this game is supposed to be intuitive and immersive. For example, the characters standing at the bottom of the main menu are used to upgrade each of the races in the game. The problem is that isn't clear, and a lot of the UI feels unclear and cluttered as a result. The voice acting in the campaign, let's just say it isn't great. Combined with the repetitive dialogue of the in-game units, the voice acting eventually becomes irritating more than anything else.
Still building the archery range, and we're still building the swordsman.
What shall I do?
Oh my god, what should they do?
Wait, people.
It's so loud. All right,
While Kingdom Wars 2 has a good selection of multiplayer modes, the player base simply isn't there. At this point, a year after release, you'll probably have a pool of about a dozen players to play with at a given time, so if you want to play a specific game mode, hopefully you've got a few friends willing to play with you. There's this problem with the RTS genre as a whole where it's often difficult to come to a satisfying conclusion. In some cases, the player might have spent hours creating the perfect society only to see it ushered away by a screen proclaiming victory for one team or the other. Kingdom Wars 2 Battles seems to have done away with that notion by simply not ending. Whether this was a recurring bug or intentional isn't clear, but I never saw a game end. Even in multiplayer games, once a player had won, the game continued until both players manually quit the game.
As always, I like to end on a positive note, so without further ado, here are the pros. Now this could go either way for a lot of people as a pro or con. This game has some very simplistic nature to it, so there is some complexity behind everything, so it's probably more about how you play the game, and maybe I was just playing it in the more simplistic way, but I found that everything really boiled down to how many archers I could have, but because of that, I found that there was a fast-paced nature to the game, which I very much so enjoyed, and so I can definitely see where that would be if you're more into tactical strategy rather than just like a casual fun strategy. This probably wouldn't be a pro for you, but for me it was. One thing I very much so liked was the inclusion of race-specific tech trees over all three races. They each had their own kind of technology that you could build to from playing games. You get resources that you can put into the tech tree to, well, you get new units, you get new buffs and all that kind of stuff. So that's a really interesting thing to put into a game. Not a lot of developers are doing race-specific tech trees in RTS that is like this right now, so I really enjoyed that. A must-have for me in a good fantasy-driven game is exceptional lore. And I did feel that through following the campaign that there was a strong background in lore, and that really solidifies this game as something special beyond its faults, beyond its merits. Just to be able to tell a good story is something that a lot of games take for granted, and they do seem to have a very good writing voice here in Kingdom Wars 2 Battles. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is an A+ in my books. A lot of people say the humans, orcs, elves thing is overplayed, but I do feel that they brought a new kind of energy to it in this story, which is really worth checking out if you are into that. Now, if you're still weary of whether or not you think that the price tag is worth it for this game, I would definitely say give yourself a bit of a waiting period before you get into it. Just because I am seeing that the developers are doing updates, and if you think that what this game needs is a little bit more polish, I would expect that to come. I definitely have faith that this game is going to grow and get better. Even after full release, there's parts of me that think that maybe the game should have stayed early access for a little bit longer, but I can definitely see that there are updates going on, and that is something to look forward to and to keep an eye on. I hope you enjoyed our summary of the game, and if you'd like to learn more, you can look up Kingdom Wars 2 Battles on Gamestionary. It's in the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more, just give that subscribe button some love, give this video a like, and have an awesome day.